Admiral Vexthor of the Caldronian Empire had seen many things in his 3 centuries of service. He had witnessed the fall of star systems, the extinction of lesser species, and the rise of the greatest military coalition the galaxy had ever known. But nothing, absolutely nothing, had prepared him for what emerged from the void that day. The detection arrays screamed first. Then every sensor on every ship in the assembled armada went haywire simultaneously. "Report!" Vexthor's mandibles clicked in irritation. "Sir," his tactical officer stammered, "we're detecting a massive gravitational anomaly. It's impossible. The readings suggest something with the mass of a small moon, but the signature is all wrong." The view screen flickered, and then it appeared. The UNSC Indomitable. It hung in space like a sleeping titan, its hull stretching nearly 40 kilometers from bow to stern. The Supercarrier's surface was scarred with the patina of centuries, covered in micrometeor impacts and the telltale burns of weapons that no living species still used. Sections of its armor plating bore markings in that strange human language. Warnings, identification codes, and something else. Names. Thousands upon thousands of names etched into the metal. "Scan it," Vexthor ordered, his voice barely above a whisper. The results came back, and a collective silence fell over the bridge. The ship was old. Not just old, ancient. According to the dating analysis, it had been drifting in dark space for over 8,000 years. The humans who built it had been gone from the galaxy for nearly as long, vanished in what the historical records called the Great Silence. Most species assumed they'd destroyed themselves, as aggressive species often did. But this ship was waking up. "Sir, we're detecting power fluctuations. Reactor cores are coming online." "Impossible," Vexthor hissed. "Nothing survives 8 millennia in the void. Nothing." Across the Armada, a fleet of over 15,000 warships representing 47 different species, weapons charged. The combined firepower could crack a planet. Surely it could handle one ancient derelict. Then the Indomitable's running lights activated. They blazed across its hull in sequence, section by section, like a city coming to life after a long sleep. Hangar bays the size of small stations began to iris open. Point defense turrets swiveled on long dormant gimbals, their targeting sensors sweeping across the assembled fleet with mechanical precision. And then it broadcast. The message came in every language, every frequency, every communications protocol known to galactic civilization. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't even a demand. It was a simple statement of fact, delivered in a voice that carried the weight of millennia. "This is UNSC Indomitable, registry number CVN 8177, United Nations Space Command. We are returning to operational status. To all vessels in the vicinity, you are advised to maintain a respectful distance. We mean you no harm, but we will defend ourselves if necessary." Defend themselves? Vexthor's laugh was bitter. They're surrounded by the greatest military force ever assembled. What do they think they can... The tactical display updated, and his words died in his throat. The Indomitable wasn't just powering up its defenses. It was launching fighters. Thousands of them. They poured from the hangar bays like a metallic swarm, each one moving with a precision that suggested not automation, but skill. Expert pilots. But that was impossible, wasn't it? "Sir, those fighters, they're crude. I'm detecting life signs. Human life signs." "What?" Vexthor leaned forward, his claws gripping the command throne. "How many?" Sir, I'm detecting over 2 million individual human biosignatures aboard that vessel. They're not in cryosleep. They're active. They're at battle stations, 2 million. The number echoed through the bridge like a death knell. Then the intelligence officer spoke up, his voice shaking. "Admiral, I've been cross-referencing our historical databases. The Indomitable wasn't just any supercarrier. According to fragmentary records from the human era, it was their 13th and final supercarrier. The one they sent out right before the Great Silence. It was supposed to be a generation ship, a lifeboat carrying their best and brightest." "A lifeboat," Vexthor repeated slowly. "Armed with what?" "Sir, the humans didn't just arm their warships. They weaponized everything. Their cargo vessels had more firepower than our modern destroyers. The Indomitable was designed to fight and win against entire fleets. Alone." The implications settled over the bridge like a suffocating blanket. The fighter swarm had arranged itself into a defensive sphere around the supercarrier, and now the ship itself was maneuvering. Despite its massive size, it moved with surprising grace, its fusion drives burning with a blue-white intensity that spoke of barely contained power. "They've activated their targeting systems," the tactical officer reported. "Sir, I'm reading energy signatures consistent with siege weapons, mass drivers, particle cannons, and something else. Something I've never seen before." Vexthor knew what came next. They all did. The Armada could attack, could unleash hell upon this ancient vessel. They might even win, though the casualties would be catastrophic. But they would be firing the first shot at a species that had been gone for 8,000 years, a species that had sent out a lifeboat to preserve what was best about themselves, and more importantly, more pragmatically, they would be attacking a species whose single ship had just demonstrated technology that made the entire galactic armada's combined might look primitive by comparison. "Send a message," Vexthor said quietly. "To all fleet commanders. Stand down. Weapons to standby mode. Extend diplomatic greetings to the Indomitable and request a parley." "Sir?" his first officer questioned. "Look at that ship," Vexthor said, his eyes fixed on the view screen. "Really look at it. Those names etched into the hull, those are their dead. 8,000 years of dead. Crew members who lived and died aboard that vessel while we built our empires and fought our petty wars. They crossed the dark between stars for millennia, keeping their ship alive, keeping their species alive. And now they're home." He stood, straightening his uniform. "We gathered here to divide the spoils of human space, to claim their abandoned worlds. But they're not abandoned anymore. And I, for one, am not fool enough to start a war with a species that survived the void itself." One by one, the ships of the Armada powered down their weapons, not in surrender, but in something the galaxy hadn't felt in a very long time. Respect. The Indomitable hung in space, surrounded by her fighter screen, her crew of 2 million standing ready. She had fired no shots. She had made no threats. She had simply existed, and in existing had reminded the galaxy of something they'd forgotten. Humanity had left not because they were weak, but because they chose to survive. And now, after 8,000 years, they had returned. The galaxy would never be the same.